end of this lesson, last two subtopics, and at the same time we are going to discuss about the improve your learning questions and the marking skills of this as well. So again, I'm just going to have a recall of this lesson, how the Britishers has been came to India for trading purpose, mostly the mercantilism, then next the mess for trading, mostly cloth and the spices. Then misuse of the company power, how they have been done, what are the aspects, how they have been what we can say, interpreting in the Indian kingdom affairs, like what they have been doing or what need to do it, or so all in this manner they were doing it. Then next is how they have been helping the Indian rulers to fought with the other kings. In return, what they have been asking, the jewelry, the place, the amount. So in this way, with the help of that money, they became very powerful, and with that as they have the first battle which has been took place in the year 1757, the Battle of Plassey. Then next, with this battle, they had got the victory over the Battle of Plassey in the place of Bengal. So that after that they have been getting victorious one after the other. Small kingdoms has been fighted, and in this manner they have been got the rule that with the help they have been getting to believe that with the help of the army, with the military power, they can do out anything and they can rule out the Indian soil. So many Indian rulers, they have been felt that this is not the by giving the help of the Britishers, they are only becoming powerful. They can attack any time our kingdom. So all these they have been getting closer slowly one after the kingdom. They have been getting to know about the empire. So at the same time, we also get to know that how is our Indian military power. It is very weak, not having modern weapons, guns, cannons, all this one. So our Indian soldiers has been joined into their British army in their soldiers, but again they have a discrimination, like they were not getting the proper salaries, they were not treated with the British soldiers how they did. So and at the same time, the most important thing what happened here means they have been using the religious their religious tradition, their customs has been violated. What they did in this is like their views, they are playing with the religious views, religious sentiments. So when the guns cannon have been set with the help of chalk, the coated layer, when you refer your textbook, the figure also. So then the gun cannon, it need to be get sealed. Like whenever we get any any water bottle can or any juice can, it will be a sealed one. So either we need to take out with your hand, or sometimes craziness will do open with the mouth. So these cartridges guns, they need to open with the mouth. So that covering of the grease what is being made with the animal fats. So animal fat religious sentiments. In what way? Hindus, they have been given the cartridges with the cover coated with the cow fat, because cow is a religious animal, they were using that one. And whereas the pig, it is a rated animal which doesn't like in the Islam religion, so that they were using. So this incident has been came to know in the March of 1857. Then after the May, they have been seen from March until May 1857 revolt which has been happened out. Many people has been joined, whether the kingdom, whether the money lenders, whether whether all the persons, irrespective of any differences, everyone has been joined. They wanted the British rule to be controlled, and they have marched towards the Levite Delhi, means the Delhi Mughal emperor, the last ruler we can say, because he presently he was been existing, but he was been under the capture. The Britishers has been captured, Bahadur Shah Zafar, and the people has been reached towards the Delhi, and there they have been given a slogan. Rebels means the people who have been going against to the people. So these rebel people, they gave the slogan like throw away the British, drive away the Britishers, bring back the Mughals. So in this way. So it was spreaded like a wildfire, like how the fire spreads the places without seeing. So it went throughout the country of India in this 1857 revolt. It was first started by the soldiers, but even one after the all the people of the different kingdoms has been joined, and whichever the places have been coming in while moving to them, the British Bangalore, the police stations, the telegram office, whichever the Britishers have been working, they all set fire, railway tracks, telephone booths, all this have been done. And to this one, British soldiers were nearly 45 to 50,000, 35,000. But whereas the Indian soldiers, they were nearly 2,30,000. So this much of soldiers, these many of soldiers, they have been lowered, and instead of the British soldiers, they need to save their generals, all this one. They started saving their families, their family members. So they were like completely shaken, like what is Indian people are doing. So it has nearly took the complete 1 year to control that particular movement. And in what way they have been suppressed? They have been got two differences, two findings they have been finding out. So what were these two findings? Is the first finding they were doing only the Indian soldiers, they were having the guns of old type. They were using the bows, arrows, they were using the guns and cannons, which is a little bit outdated first. And in that also, there are bows and arrows in the country it is been available, but whereas the guns and the cannons they need to get it from the importing, means to get it from the other country. So it is taking time. First thing. Then second, what happened here is this is the second one, which is the related here means like the small one kingdom, small area they were fighting. Then far away little bit they were fighting. So they were not united, they were not having the proper plan how to attack the empire. So in this way they were not having the proper layout plans. So one kingdom getting the victory by the Britishers. So again British army is divided, like one group this area, this area. So in this way they were getting the one after another which they was trying to control. And in it, what they have been doing, whichever the rebellion they have been caught hold, they were just executing, they were giving out the handgun in front of all the village to the trees, they were blowing up. So inhuman type of treatment they have been started doing. So at the same time, this last Mughal emperor who was in there, Bahadur Zafar, from Delhi, they have been took him to the Rangoon, presently in Bangladesh place. This Rangoon place they have been shifted where this Mughal emperor has been died. So in this manner, after controlling this revolt of 1857, it was been nearly 90 years they have been ruled 8 years old. So now in this one we are going to get what happened after the revolt. So it was been completely till now it has been control, this kind of inhuman type of treatment they were doing. But now we are going to get to know what happened after the revolt. What was the situation of India and what the Britishers they were doing. So it took the English, here again English means Britishers, European people. It took English more than a year to suppress the revolt of 1857. During this period, they changed many of their policies and adopted new ones. In 1858, Queen Victoria of England made an important declaration, said that the Indian kings should rule their own kingdoms without anxiety because the English would not try to dethrone them. In this way, they established a close collaboration with the royal families of India. Similarly, Zamindars too were given many concessions and were assured that their property would be protected. The Pandits and Maulvis were assured that the British government would not interfere in matters relating to Indian religions and would get the old traditions continued. There was also a promise that India would be included in the government. The truth is that the English has seen their Indian empire being snatched away in 1857. Now, they directed their efforts towards giving all kinds of concessions to the allied powerful Indians to consolidate them and ensure that they continue to support the English. So, what happened after the revolt of 1857? The Queen Victoria. Queen Victoria means monarchism. Monarchism where the place or the city or the country which is being ruled by either by the king or either by the queen. So at the time, Europe continent was been under the still monarchy only existing. Queen Elizabeth I, how she has declared this charter of the East India Company. So likewise, after this 1857 revolt, she has been gave the charter like what need to do it for the Indians after this revolt, because it was been to completely 1 year to control them, and at the same time they have been saw that the vast Indian empire is going to take away by this Indian people, by such kind of revolt. So first thing what they said, according to this declaration of this Queen Elizabeth I after 1857 revolt, the kings and the royal families, the kings or the emperors, they were not going to dethrone. Dethrone means they are not going to remove any king from their kingdom. First thing, and with this one, they have started maintaining good relations with the royal families. Royal families means the people who have been related to the kings, kingdom, empire. So no king will be going to dethrone. Means they are not going to remove any king of that from the Indian Empire. Second one, the zamindars whose lands were taken away by the Britishers, they have been started giving the concession. Concession means suppose they have been took the 150 acres or some land according to them. So some they have been giving and some anyhow they will be going to keep with them. So with this one they started giving the concessions to the zamindars, and at the same time whatever the property they have been took by from the emperors, from the kings, they were started giving the form of the concession, some amount of the land, some portion of the land which they have been took, that was been going to be given back to the zamindars. Third one, in the religious matters, because already the Indians they were feared that they have been going to impose their religion, their custom, traditions, English education, all this one. But they, according to this declaration of the Queen of Elizabeth I, 1857, after the revolt of this 1857 revolt or Sipahis revolt or Sodus revolt, they have been going to say that no, Pandits is related to the Hinduism religion and Maulvis is the religious scholar of the Islam religion. So according to these the Britishers, they have said they are not going to interfere in the religious matter of the Indian people. Means how the religions have been going to get followed, that will be going to follow in the same manner. No interference in any of the religious matter which belongs to the India. Next, the fourth one, they said that in the British's government, in the British's empire, whatever the government work, official work they are going to do, in that official work, they are going to include the Indians also. So these are the four most important aspects they have been made after this revolt of 1857. First is the king will not be dethroned out. Second is the concessions were given to zamindars. Third, no interference in the religious matters irrespective of anyone, either in the Hinduism or either in the Islam. Fourth is in the British government also the Indian people are been going to be get included. So in this way they have been assured to the Indians after the revolt. So now about the Hyderabad state and the British. So how was the Hyderabad, why here state giving the importance? Till 1948 Hyderabad was a complete state only, it is not a complete district. So after 1948 Hyderabad came as a formation of the district in India. So with the other kingdoms of the time, Hyderabad too came under the influence of the East India Company. Eventually, the British placed a resident in Hyderabad who oversaw the entire administration of the state. The Nizam had to appoint his prime minister or Diwan on the advice of the resident and with the approval of the British Governor General. All the departments have to be headed by ICS, Indian Civil Service, presently known as IAS, Indian Administrative Services, officers selected by the British. In this way, the British were able to gain complete control over the Nizam state. They gradually pushed the state to adopt the administrative systems and policies followed by the British in other areas too. If you go to Hyderabad, you will see the famous Salarjung Museum, which housed the various articles collected by Salarjung, who was once as a Diwan of Hyderabad. He introduced many reforms and contributed to the economic development of Hyderabad state. He divided the kingdom into subhas and districts after removing the old Deshmukhs, etc. He abolished the revenue farming system and instead organized direct collection of revenue from the farmers by district officials. The judicial reforms included the creation of Supreme Court, High Court and District Court. Separate civil and criminal courts were also established to facilitate transport. Salarjung improved the railways and roads. Important, railway lines connected Hyderabad to Wadi, Madras to Sholapur, Madras to Bombay. English medium schools like Darul Uloom at Chalaghat in 1855, City College, Deccan Engineering College in 1870 and Madrasa-e-Alia were also established. These reforms helped the Hyderabad to emerge as a modern state in the line of the rest of the country. So Hyderabad state, what it was when there was where already this Asam is the Nizams who has to do. So in the Nizams in the previous class I have said, this Salarjung was the Prime Minister. Prime Minister means he was being Subedar, he was giving the assistant who will be helping these Nizams. So this Salarjung has played an important role for the development of the Hyderabad present city. Like when we have to get to know the Salarjungism, we will get to know about the Nizams, what are all the things. And at the same time, he had made the economic development. Economic development is he wanted the city to be have the complete need to have a good economically developed, means financially money matters. So likewise, he had the construction of the roads, construction of the railway lines, and not only that one, he also get with the educational institutions also. So what are the educational institutions? In Darul College, then next Madrasa Alia and Deccan Engineering College, Memorial Girls College. So all these they have been established to have the overall development of the place of our presently what we have been seeing. And at the same time, the Britishers as Hyderabad has been developing in economically term, having good of mostly famous for the diamonds, all this trading as well. So the Britishers also had one of the resident in the yesterday class I have said they'll appoint one British official to get to know in the kingdom what has been happening. So these to form all this what to do, how to do it, they need to go with this resident, the Governor General, to the British officer. They need to get appointed. So overall, when the Britishers have been get to know the completely the Britishers army, they did not, they have been sent the Britishers army to control the instead of helping the this army to the Nizams. Instead of that one, the British army started controlling the Nizams, and whatever they have been doing, they were questioning. But still, the Nizams they have been managed to rule the complete this Hyderabad state in a very good manner. At the same time, they have been developed the city overall economically, educationally, and at the same time constructed different kinds of water reservoirs. So all we have been discussed in the previous lesson with the Asaf how they have been ruled all this. So in the next class we will be going to read about this how in the next coming of the years, like what was the Hyderabad reforms, what are the changes it has been done. So now in the figure 145, the figure 15.12, they have been given like imaginary the figure they have been given how the Britishers they have been captured the Mughal emperor, how he has been arrested, how he has been sent to the Rangoon place. Bahadur Shah Zafar and his sons being arrested by Captain Hodson. After Aurangzeb, there were no powerful Mughal ruler, but Mughal emperors continued to be symbolically important. When rebellion against the British broke out in 1857, Bahadur Shah Zafar, the Mughal emperor at the time, was seen as a natural leader. Once the revolt was suppressed by the company, he was forced to leave the kingdom and his sons were shot down in cold blood. So here you can have a figure like imaginary they have been given on the Bahadur Shah Zafar, the British general officer. He has been hold on this Bahadur Shah Zafar and sent to the Bangladesh place, because after Aurangzeb, even though this Bahadur Shah Zafar he was been existed, but still the Britishers they started controlling. So they captured this Bahadur Shah Zafar and his sons they were shot dead. In a cold blood means no humanity, no like inhuman type of treatment they gave, and they have been shot his sons because they doesn't want the Mughal emperor, the dynasty need to get continuation, because it is a hierarchy, one after the other related family members have been going to continue. So this Bahadur Shah Zafar after Aurangzeb, even though he is a Mughal emperor ruler, but he did not have given any authority or the power to rule. So he was been from Delhi to he was been shifted to a Rangoon place in present Bangladesh, where he has been died. And this Bahadur Shah his sons, they were shot because these Britishers they doesn't want any of the rulers to continue the Indian state. So from Delhi after this one, there were no kings or the kingdom to be get. So overall about this lesson is about how the Britishers has been occupied our Indian soil, for what purpose they came, only to do the trade. But eventually after having the trade then next invading to the Indian kingdoms, then religious aspects, then next the revolt, all these they have been done, and at the same time they have been controlled, they have been getting powerful with the help of the army. All this how they have been done is they have been done with the help of the army. So in this one, most important what you will be going to get in the perspective of the questions is revolt of 1857, and at the same time the first one, the next you need to comparison between the rulers, all the rulers from the coming to the Kakatiya rulers, coming to the Asaf Jais, Mughal rulers, and to the English. From the rulers of this Kakatiyas, Vijayanagaras, then next Asaf Jais, then next Mughal Empire, Qutub Shahis. So and at the same time the Britishers. So all these five rulers who has been ruled the kingdom need to get compared to the Britishers. These are the two very important ones you will be going to get. And the next in this one, what the development activities they have been done, like what the revolt was being started and how it was being get control. And next coming to in this lesson, what are the places they have been given up, like Hyderabad place, the next Meerut, all these places that in the mapping skills these have been very important. And this map also on the page number 140, the map 1 and 2 and 3, these are the maps is also being important.